employers do not compensate employees for exclusivity.
Today I'm joined by Rolf Haltza, owner of Job Stacking. Rolf coaches people on how to land and work 3 full-time jobs without burnout.
Thank you very much, Nick. That was an excellent intro. Happy to be here. Job stacking is about being realistic about what employment is like today, recognizing that some of the claims that employers make on employees, on workers, are actually not fair. But it's not about harming employers. It's not about taking revenge on them. It's about what will make them happy, but without hurting our economic situation as employees.
What you can say to the leaders who discover job stacking?
You have potentially your most productive, your best worker. If you have a job stack, if he's somebody that is proactive, but still keep you happy, you have in your hands your best employee. You just have to realize that things have changed and you're really not paying enough for the level of talent that you're requiring. What a job stacker is proving is that they can go to the market and get 2-3 times their value, right? According to the market, that's their value. If you don't have it in your budget to pay them that, to buy them out, then you, in a sense, don't have the right to request exclusivity. However, that doesn't mean that you cannot benefit from it, because you can have access to this person. He's gonna provide tremendous benefits to you because this person is gaining experience, getting trained, getting exposed to a lot more things, right? Because he's working multiple jobs, that then he's gonna be able to come back to you and provide that value to you. By being exposed to how other people, other businesses do things, other skills, other lanes of work, other avenues of productivity, if you're open to keeping the job stacker instead of being scandalized, you can reap those benefits for your business. You don't have to pay him more for all that expertise and all that productivity. He's gonna provide it happily, because if he's happy with his job, right, he's gonna be happy to provide those benefits for you. And paradoxically, you have a very loyal employee, because if you're job stacking, you don't care about job hopping. If you have a stable, comfortable job that you feel comfortable with, you can work it for years, because you're not gonna get burnout by trying to get a promotion and then being denied it because there's no budget for the promotion, and so the person has to hop jobs, has to get another job to get a promotion. If the person is stacking, they're making good money. They can stay with you for years and years and years. You don't have to worry about attrition or anything like that. Be open about it. If you're happy with them, don't let them go.
A software development company owner, we had one guy who had a full-time job, one with our company and another with our competitor company. He didn't deliver the things, and then I started monitor, usually I don't like to micromanage people, nor my team leaders. But we realized that his productivity is very low, to be honest. And then I asked, okay, what's happening, and so on and so on. So one at the company's party, he get drunk and he told to other colleagues that he has another job and that he's working 2 full-time jobs at the same time. And then, when I reverse engineered everything, I realized, yes, he was keeping some meetings. Yes, his productivity was low.
Usually in business, when you want another party to provide their services exclusively to you, you have to buy them out. However, with an employment, that happens all the time. Employers just think like, hey, I'm gonna pay you a salary, and that means that you can't work for anybody else. And that's not fair because of the office, because of the reality that we just had to be in the office to work. We can't be in 2 places at once. There was very little that we could do about it. But now with remote work, really, there's no reason to follow those claims. And regarding IPs and like NDA and like conflict of interest, I always say that I understand employers being concerned about it, but at the same time, if you're a low-level employee, you have no power of purchase, no power, no decision power. It's unfair that an employer limits your ability to do business with somebody else. Providing services to 2 competitors does not mean that immediately there's a conflict of interest.
Share a short client story, like either it's your story or some of your client, like some case study. What was the starting point, what changed, and what measurable outcomes follow?
This guy, let's call him Dan, he had a job that is usually not remote. Like there are remote opportunities, but it's difficult to land them. He came in at the height of RTO. So this is where everybody was just sending people back to the office. It seemed like remote work was going to end. He had 4 kids and his wife, in only one job, like it just wasn't enough. And it was very interesting because he always had a very good attitude about it, but everything came back hybrid. One time I tell him like, hey, don't worry about it being hybrid. We can try to turn it remote. And then providentially, like we just did one last resume. We just said like, all right, there must be something in your resume that we got to change so that we start having more success. We came in, we fixed the resume one more time. He started getting call after call, remote opportunities. Now he has 3 jobs, 3 fully remote jobs, doing exactly the same thing that he was doing. He didn't have to pivot careers. It was just a matter of timing the market and adjusting a couple of skills on his resume. And now he's one of our veterans, right? Like he's 3 jobs. And yeah, so that's the story of Dan. Like very happy to have helped him.
Hey, Rolf here. If you found the content of this video useful, please like, share, and subscribe. It really does help the channel grow and get the word out to more people about job stacking. Thanks.
Mediocrity is a word that is maligned in today's world because mediocrity just means normal. We have turned mediocrity into bad, but they're 2 different concepts. If you're bad, you're not mediocre. If you're bad, you're not normal. And so there's a kind of like a war against average anything, becoming the king of mediocrity. What I mean by that is owning the fact that you're a normal person. But what if we own the fact that we're just normal people and then become extraordinary in some sense, go beyond normal? I think that's a very healthy, fun, even beautiful way to live because I do a bunch of stuff. But I'm not trying to be number one. My life does not revolve around work. Work is just what I do to fund the things that I enjoy doing outside of work.
All right, that's gonna do it for today's video. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.